Hi everyone! Welcome back to Gussied Up, the home of empowered beauty and where the goal is to make beauty accessible to everyone, especially the average humans. So today I have created this crazy yellow to blue ombre rainbow craziness. I've never done anything like this. I'm proud of the way that it has come out. I think the blend looks really nice when you get up and really close. But ultimately I wanted to show you this more fun look, which could be great for Halloween, Mardi Gras, any of those things. Those things have already passed for the last year and are incoming for this year. But ultimately, it's just a fun look. I'm gonna hang out with a couple of friends tonight who hopefully aren't gonna say, "What the hell is on your face?" And that's all. So if you are interested in hanging out with me and learning how to do a look like this, then let's go ahead and get gussied up together. So to do this look, I am using the Lisa Frank Morphe palette, and I am using all matte shades except for a highlight, and I didn't even use the highlight out of this palette, so that doesn't really matter. But to start off, I am going to start with a primer. And the primer that I like to use is the FARMASi Pro to Fit eyeshadow primer. And I like to go in with a short-haired fluffy brush. And I'll just pick up a little bit of product and add that all over the eye. I don't use a lot of product compared to what most people use. I really just use the bare minimum of what's needed to get all the way across the eyelid. As you can see, I am bringing this all the way up to my eyebrow as well, because a primer is going to help keep your eyeshadow from creasing, and it's also going to help make it more budge resistant. So that is the point of a good primer. And I think I missed a little bit of the lid here. So there we go. The first shade that I am using is this yellow. It is this shade Sunflower. And I am using a e.l.f. tapered blending brush. So I'm just going to pick up a little bit of product, tap off the excess, and I am going to work that in to the inner corner. Now, one thing you will notice is I did not use any sort of blending shade to blend the outer edge of this today. I did kind of go for a more harsh outer edge than usual, but that was just preference because I had no idea what kind of shade I would use for blending that out. So the next shade we are going to go in with is the shade Zoomer and Sorbet, which is this green here. And I'm going to go in with a tapered blending brush, also from e.l.f. I have two of these. I personally really love them. So I'm just going to pick up, again, some product, tap off the excess. And I am trying to keep the blended shades roughly in the same spot. I want them to blend at the same kind of place as the other eye. So I am trying to pay attention a little bit to that. But what I'm going to do is I am going to overlap a little bit the yellow and the green. And because the yellow is lighter, I'm going to go over. And I'm just going to kind of flip back and forth until I have a good transition. And like I said, as you can see here, the yellow kind of transitions slowly into the green. And then you have it transition into a blue, which transitions into a darker blue. So I did really try my best to make them transition by overlapping the shades. Next, I went in with the shade Angel Kitty. And I ran out of smaller tapered blending brushes, so I am using this Morphe X Jeffree Star JS10. It is a rounded top, but like kind of flat brush, I don't know. Anyway, so So I'm just going to pick up a little of that and pack that in, again overlapping a little bit the shade with the green. And lastly, I am going to use the shade Panda Painter, which is this deep navy blue. And I grabbed a similar brush. This happens to be an e.l.f. smudge brush. Again, it's just a brush that I can use to get targeted spots rather than a large brush. So I'm just going to take that. And I did make a bit of a wing with this. Not really a bit, kind of a crazy wing, but that's okay. What we are going to do later is I'm quickly going to go back in with that blue brush, the Angel Kitty, and kind of blend over. But this outer corner we are going to clean up with concealer later on, so it's not going to be too much of a problem. But if you want, you can just continue to kind of keep building your blend as you go until you get something that you're happy with. And I think now, if you do get any fallout, I just use a large fluffy brush to just dust away any of that fallout. Then I'm going to go back in with my concealer and just clean up a little bit of the cut crease area. So to do that, I am using FARMASi's makeup brush. It is a flat end concealer brush and also, I don't know what you call that, a smudger. But I'm going to just pick up some of the primer that we used before. And we are going to cut our crease. And there you can see that I have cut the crease with that primer. It's not perfect, that's okay. If you feel like you've brought the concealer too close or you've kind of taken too much color away, you can always go back in with those shades and fix her up a bit. But as you can see, initially it felt like it wasn't really matching, and now it's looking quite a bit more matchy-matchy. Now, for the next shade, we're going to use Violet and Velvet. And I have a Morphe X Jeffree Star JS11. It is a more flat brush. I'm going to pick up some product, tap off the excess, and we are just going to pat that into place. Oop, wrong shade. And because we don't want to mix colors, I'm going to be very, very careful in making sure that I don't go too far over the line when trying to place this purple. And there we go. Now I'm going to use the ink liner by FARMASi in the shade Black. And I am going to trace the line that I created with that purple. And that is going to be my wing. And now I'm really just working to try and connect both. And hopefully you will end up with two wing liners that look relatively similar. To finish off the top portion of the eye, I am now going to do mascara. I'm going to use the Double Lash Extend Mascara, starting with the volume. And as with every mascara, I am going to go ahead and wipe off virtually everything on the wand, just because it gets really packed in with product and I don't want spider lashes. If you watched any of my videos before, you know that. So it's a point of contention within myself. So now I'm going to go in with the length end, and this one really scrubs off the wand really well, so I just like to scrape off the end. And then we're going to add some length to this babies. And there you have the top of the eye. For highlight for the under the brow bone, I am using the Extreme Frost Lick My Glit by Jeffree Star Cosmetics. It is the boldest, craziest highlighter that I own. So I'm just going to take a compact fan brush, pick up some product, and add that under the brow. And for some reason I did that brow before I put my foundation on, so I'm going to go ahead and do my brow again. So at least they're even. So that is my eye primer. I'm going to pick up my eyebrow pomade by FARMASi. This is in the shade Brown. And I'm going to start off with this JSC brush and brush my brows into place. I almost did not say brush, I almost said something else. I think I almost said brow my brush into place, but you know what I mean. I'm just going to pick up some product, grab my little handy dandy mirror, and we're going to draw a line for our bottom of our brow, a line for the top of the brow, and then we're going to fill it in. And if you go over, that's okay. So And to finish her off, you're just going to brush the brows into the place you want them to be. And if something is still feeling sparse, which sometimes this area does, you can just fill her in. And once the pomade dries down into place, then your eyebrows will be pushed into place as well. Or not really pushed into place, dried down into place. English is difficult. So now for primer, today I am going to be using the VFX Pro Camera Ready Strobe Primer. I prefer this primer because I have very, very dry, sensitive skin. This primer has an illuminating sheen to it. I'm really going to pay attention to putting some on the under eye and my nose, and you can already see the difference between the more dewy side compared to the dry side. Now, we do have a primer that is great for normal to oily skin, and it's really just up to preference for you. The one is better for, this one is better for, like I said, dry skin to normal skin and gives you a dewy finish. The other one will give you a matte finish. Perfect. Now for foundation today, I am going to be using the VFX Pro Camera Ready Foundation in the shade 04. And I am using a beauty blender today. And before you sue me, it's a beauty blender, not just a beauty sponge. So I'm gonna add some product to the face. And then start blending that all over. Now that we have our foundation done, I'm going to go in with FARMASi's Full Coverage Liquid Concealer in the shade Light Ivory. And I'm going to add a little bit to the inner corner, some to the outer corner of each eye, this is going to help us kind of cut the eyeshadow that we had so that we're all set. So I'm going to let this sit for a little bit so that it kind of warms up to my skin. And in the meantime, before I do the under eye, I am actually going to go in with my contour because the contour isn't going to mess with anything up here. So for the contour, I have the FARMASi contour stick. And I like to use this base buffer brush from Eco Tools. And I am just going to pick up some product and add it to the face. I'm also going to add some contour to the bottom of the chin and the neck area. And I'm going to bring that all the way back to the ear. You can also do a little bit of the nose. And we can contour a little bit of the forehead. I do a very light contour, but for those of you wishing to accentuate your features, you can do more or less, however works for your face shape. Now, for this concealer, I'm going to go in with the Everyday Eye Brush from Ego Tools, and I am just going to pat this into place. And outer corner, I'm going to kind of rub initially just to get it where I need it. And for some reason, both of my eyes just immediately went like, whoo! As if I had stuck hot peppers in them. And there you go. As you can see, that really kind of cut the eyeshadow a little bit better so that we don't look so crazy. Now, essentially what we did on the top of the eye is going to be what we're going to do on the bottom of the eye. So to start off, I'm going to go in with our yellow. Shade Zoomer and Sorbet. As you expected, we are going to use Angel Kitty as well. And the last shade is that navy blue Panda Painter. And that is the intensely crazy, but kind of cute, hopefully, eye look for today. And to finish that off, I'm going to go back in with our Double Lash Extend Mascara, take the length wand, And I am going to add some bottom lash. And there we go. Of the last couple of items that we're going to be doing today is obviously highlight. I'm going to be using this e.l.f. blush in the shade Twinkle Pink. It's very, very old. Probably one of the very few things I've ever hit pan on. But it is a nice peachy blush with a shimmer to it. Now for highlight, I am going to go back in with the Lick My Glit. Gonna add that to the tops of the cheeks, a little bit to the outer brow bone, some to the Cupid's bow, just a little on the nose. I don't like to accentuate the nose too much. And to finish it off, I think we're gonna go super, super nude, and we're gonna use the shade Skin. And again, I'm just gonna wipe off all of the product, or most of the product. And I'm going to outline the bottom lip. And to finish off this full face, I'm going to be using the Makeup Time Lockers Fixing Spray by FARMASi. And let it dry. And that is this very intense, colorful, carnival kind of a look, unintentionally, but it's the most bold and crazy I've ever done before, and hopefully you like it. So if you end up recreating this look, please be sure to tag me at gussied up. That is gussied up with 2 P's, or use the hashtag gussiedupbeauties. So thanks so much for getting gussied up with me today. I really appreciate it. If you love this video, please be sure to like, comment, share, subscribe. You know how to do the dang thing. So thanks so much for watching. I look forward to seeing you next time. See you later. Bye!